In today's video, I am going to talk to you about how you can retire early. Now, of course, this all does really rely on having either a paycheck from a job or running your own business like I do. Now, first off, really quickly, these are all hypothetical numbers, but these are real-world numbers that I know from my friends on how much they spend on just, in my opinion, stupid stuff. So let's dig down into the numbers. I'm going to give you a couple of different scenarios, and it's going to absolutely blow your mind. So in this first scenario, when I used to work at one of my last jobs before I started running my business full-time, a lot of my friends would go to downtown Hamilton, which is the city that I live in. There's a place called Hess Village, and it's an expensive place in my opinion. I hate clubs, and this is one of the reasons why. To me, it's a waste of money. So, number one, they would go to Hess Village and they would spend anywhere between $300 and $400 every single paycheck. Now, that to me is crazy. If you're really thinking about it, they were working full-time at a minimum, sort of minimum wage job, and they were probably bringing in after tax, because I was after tax, around $900 a paycheck. So about $1,800 after tax every single month. And they were spending between $300 and $400, depending on the person who I talked to, $300 to $400 a paycheck on a weekend, downtown Hess Village. Now, let's just run the numbers really quickly. And if you round up by $30, that whole entire year going to Hess Village, to the clubs, to spend $300 to $400, in general it was $400, and $400 on liquor and cover fees or whatever it's called to get into the place. Oh my God, that's $20,000 a year. So let's get down and let's see how much that actually costs you. So if you were to invest your money, your $20,000, and you were to get what I get, which is I usually average somewhere in the range of about 12%. That one weekend is costing you in 20 years $192,000. That is absolutely ridiculous. If you get what the market gives you, which is about 8%, now you are now costing you that $20,000 entire year, 1 year of going and spending $400 a paycheck is costing you $93,000. Now let's say you were okay, you said, okay, I just did it once in a year, only once this year. Let's see, $400. That one weekend is now costing you $1,800. And it's not even just costing you $1,800. It's costing you the fact of now you get home late at night. You are pretty much a write-off for the next day. You can't enjoy your next day because your hungover is just crazy. And for some reason, I just can't get hungover. I can drink a whole friggin' rum bottle like this, and I can get buzzed. I just can't get hungover or can't get really drunk really, but I don't know why. I'm fat and I should be able to I should have a lower metabolism, but I somehow don't. But either way, you are right off the next day. You have now written off a good night's worth of sleep. You have now also written off a whole day's worth of productivity because you wanted to go and party and spend $400 on liquor. Meanwhile, you could go and spend $40 at the LCBO, get a nice rum, go get some orange pop or Coke or whatever it is, drown your sorrows that way, and if you're not like me, you'll still get drunk and it cost you $50. But meanwhile, you're going to the club and you're spending a whack load of money. So $400 for a weekend, or about, if you do that every single paycheck, which a lot of my friends were, you're spending $20,000 a year, which is stupid. That's ridiculous. Now, if you were to do that for, let's say, from the age of 20 to the age of, let's say, 30, which is almost as old as I'm 31. So let's say you did it until you're the age of 31. And let's say you smartened up and you said, wow, I'm spending a lot of money. Well, guess what? Your first 11 years of working life really cost you $718,000. Huh. Okay, so let's really break down the numbers. Let's say you just did this for 2 years. It cost you $40,000 currently, but over a 20-year span, you're spending $179,000. If you were dumb for the first 20 years of your life, it's costing you pretty well $1 million. So my question to you is it worth that much money to go to a club to get drunk? To me, not really. I would rather just have maybe a rum bottle between 3 friends and just talk in my backyard or just at the basketball court. Like, get pissed drunk at your house. Walk to a basketball court, play basketball, sweat out your rum, come home, and guess what? You're healthier. You had more fun probably. You didn't have to deal with maybe a fight or a gunshot or whatever the hell it was. Like, you're having a heck of a lot better time in my own personal opinion. But now let's do some really crazy math. The average person has about a single Tim Hortons cup of coffee every single day. Now, if you were at home and if you just made your own coffee, you could just easily spend maybe 30 cents, 40 cents worth of coffee. But in reality, you are now spending $1.50 or maybe $2. I think a large right now is $2 at Tim Hortons. It's been a while since I bought Tim Hortons coffee. It's been since I worked a job. As I said, I run my basketball business. I drink coffee, but here at home. And from there, you're spending now about $1.50 per cup more than what you would spend here at your house. So now let's add $1.50, and let's say you had one single coffee a day. You did that. Let's do some math. $1.50 times 30, I'm going to say is around $45. Let's see, 30. Okay, $45. Let's say $1.50 times 365. I know obviously you're not working on the weekends or you're not working on Christmas, but sometimes you might just go out for a lunch maybe, or you just might go and have 2 coffees in a day because you might be tired from going to the club. That's costing you I'm going to round up $3. That's going to cost you $550 a year. So let's now add that in. And of course, that's Tim Hortons coffee. So that's cheap garbage coffee. That's not Starbucks coffee, which is just 1% less garbage than Tim Hortons. And if you really spread that over a 20-year period, your coffee per day, or maybe 1.5 coffees a day or 2 coffees a day, whatever your average might be, is now costing you an insanely amount of money when you're just comparing it to an average return on the stock market. If you just literally just put your money into SPY or VOO as an ETF, you're getting 8% a year on average. It's costing you $27,000. Now, if we really average that out over the if my phone wants to work, if you're averaging that out over that 20-year period, that 27,182 divided by 20, that's not costing you $550. That's costing you $1,350 a year. That's costing you almost 3 times more than you're actually putting into the coffee. Wow, doesn't this make you really think? Now, let's see the average cost of a Starbucks coffee. I haven't gone to Starbucks since my MacBook broke, and I thought, why not go to Starbucks? And because you would want to go into an Apple store with a Starbucks. Pretty much everyone else does, and I'm not going to cry about one coffee once in my life. So the average cost of a Starbucks coffee in Canada, so you're looking at around a freshly brewed coffee at $2.45. Now that's way above, let's call it $2 more than an actual whole pot of coffee that gives you 10 cups. Let's say that's $2. You go $2 times 365, you're now looking at $730. Let's get down to the chart. $730 a day or a year. That's now costing you an insanely amount of money of $36,000. Now, of course, when you're talking about coffees, it's not going to be a massive retirement thing. It's not like, oh, I can retire on $36,000, but you're now looking at $36,000 on an average return. If you get what I give, roughly 12 to 15%. I'm usually somewhere between 12 and 15 every single year. You're now looking at $58,000 59, you might as well say $59,000. Wow. What? Now you're starting to get into serious money. I'm going to go one further. So let's say you couldn't afford a computer, and let's say you, or clothes. Let's say you buy fancy designer clothes, like somebody in my family, and you buy fancy designer clothes and you're spending, let's say, in the range of around $500 to $1,000 a month, and that for some people is on the low end, because of course you can look at a person and say, holy crap, it's $1,500, and you just gotta buy it because it's got that logo on it and it looks kind of cool. And then you use it once. And so let's say you spend $1,000 a month. That's around $12,000 a year, which is going to absolutely blow your mind. 1 year worth of $12,000 of crap is now costing you $115,000 just for 1 year alone on my returns. Now, of course, on regular VOO, SPO, or SPY returns, it's costing you $55,000, but still, 1 year, that's how much it's costing you. So, I'll give you another example. My car, for example, if I didn't pay it off, I'd be paying around $500 a month for my car, and I'd be paying that over a 6-year loan. I paid it off though. 6-year loan, $550. I think it was 5 or 6 years. I don't know. I can't remember, but it was $550. Let's say you get a car loan of $550 every year. Let's say you're paying that off over 20 years. Let's say you buy a car for yourself and you get a $500 loan, or a $500 a month loan, and you get another loan after you pay that one off for your wife, let's say, another $500. Let's say $500 times 12, which is $6,000. $6,000 a year of a very expensive car loan. One single year is now costing you $27,000 over 20 years. If you do that over a 20-year period, that's $300,000. Now, I understand you need to get a car and you need to get somewhere. I'm just saying, try not to go super expensive like I did. That's why I paid it off, so that I wouldn't be paying interest, because of course you pay an absolute ungodly amount of interest when you get a loan sometimes. For me, my loan, I think, was around 3.5 or 4, 3.5, somewhere in that range. Either way, I paid it off. I got rid of it. I'm not paying a loan. And that car is making me money. I make videos for my other YouTube channel with my car, so that's just making my money back anyways, eventually, probably over the next 50 years. So that is what I'm talking about. So first off, don't spend your money on stupid things. Invest it. Make more money, and you can probably retire in 20 years just when you start adding everything up. So let's say you had, let's say what I said, the coffee, and you had that club addiction, or you had coffee, clothing, and club addiction, and stuff like that. You could probably retire in 20 years. Just don't buy stupid stuff. Go cheap. Be like Graham Stephan and be a cheap little guy. Anyways, I hope that you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, hit that like button, subscribe. I'm trying to make this straightforward for you, so that I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just trying to be truthful. This is how I was able to leave work and run my company for. But anyways, this is why I was able to basically run my company and leave work, because I was able to save up enough to be able to do this. Now my business makes more money than my work. But either way, my camera died. That's why you don't see my face anymore. I hope that you've enjoyed. I'll see you guys again next time.